Anyhow, today we are going to make some good, yummy, homemade cinnamon rolls. So first, what we want to do is, in our bowl here, in our stand mixer, we want to go ahead and we want to combine 2.5 cups of flour, about a ½ ounce of dry yeast, or 2 1/4 ounce packets if you have that, a ½ cup of granulated sugar, and then we will also add in a teaspoon of salt. I will have conversions on this here later. And then in another bowl here, we're going to have melted butter, milk. It will actually be a ½ cup of 1.5 cups of milk and a ½ cup of butter that will be melted. And we're going to start mixing this up together. Butter and also our water. Now, after mixing, your dough should look something like this. It should have balled up into a nice ball like that. If it does not do that, you want to add more flour, about ½ cup at a time, until it does form a ball like this. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to move this dough into another bowl and let it sit for about 10 minutes. All right, in here we have 2 cups of brown sugar and 2 tablespoons of cinnamon. Next, we're going to pour in a 1/4 cup of melted butter and also 1 cup of softened butter. Put those in there. Next, we're going to mix it all together. Now that it's all mixed up, it should look something similar to this. This will be your filling that is going to go in your cinnamon rolls. Next, you're going to want a large flat area. I'm using my table here. And you want to use the flour to kind of indicate how big you want your dough to be. And next, we're going to roll it out. And I will show you what that looks like when that is done. And now that you've had fun making this big, giant dough layer, we're going to go and we're going to take our filling. We're going to put it in here. If you ever notice your rolling pin sticking to the dough, just take some flour, put it on there. The flour will help it keep from sticking to your rolling pin. Didn't mean to say that earlier. I'm sorry. I know mine's not perfect, but here is kind of what you want it to look like. You want to leave some room on the edges of the cinnamon rolls because when you roll it, it will spread to the edges. So what we're going to do is we're going to roll this giant dough into our cinnamon rolls. And once we roll it up, we're going to cut it into quarters. You're going to have 4 parts to it. So what we have here now is a pan that we have greased with cooking spray, and we have put our rolls and pressed them down into the pan so that way they will cook. Now we're going to let them rise for about 30 minutes. So for the cinnamon rolls, when you put them in the oven, you want them to be about 375, and you're going to cook them for about 20 minutes. When you do, they should come out looking like this. Next, we're going to create our icing. So what we're going to start with is a 1/4 cup of softened butter and 8 ounces of cream cheese. And we're going to mix that together until it's all melted. And then once that is done, we will come back and finish it up. Okay, once that all melts down and you get the butter and the cream cheese mixed together, you're going to add 2 cups of powdered sugar or confectioner's sugar, 3 tablespoons of heavy cream, 3 tablespoons of heavy cream, and 1 teaspoon of vanilla. So you do that, you're going to mix it all together. Upon finishing mixing it all together, it should look something similar to this. You want a nice, smooth mixture. You want it all to kind of blend together. If it is too loose, you can always add more powdered sugar to try and thicken it up if you need that. And so, upon finishing your cinnamon roll, you should get something that looks something like this. A big, giant cinnamon roll.